kiddos, Ms. Wissinger here. I'm here to model today tracking uncertainties. So ambiguities, vagueness, that the author has left spaces available to us as readers to kind of dive in and make our own inferences, right? Make our own educated guesses. So if you are watching this after you were live in class, then you've already seen me do an example live, but this is for those kiddos that want to get ahead early or you weren't able to make it to class. So what I'm going to do is I'm only going to read the first two paragraphs again, since we've already listened to or read the lottery in its entirety. But I am going to do a close read, so I want to make sure that I jump back into that text and I'm looking at the first two paragraphs. So I'm going to jump over to my audiobook and I'm going to follow along with the written word as well.
The morning of June 27th was clear and sunny, with the fresh warmth of a full summer day. The flowers were blossoming profusely and the grass was richly green. The people of the village began to gather in the square, between the post office and the bank, around 10 o'clock.
So there's a little bit of an uncertainty,
in some towns,
right? Why are they
there were so many
gathering?
people that the lottery took 2 days and had to be started on June 2nd. But in this village,
Lottery for
where there was
what?
only about 300 people, the whole lottery took less than 2 hours, so it could begin at 10 o'clock in the morning and still be through in time to allow the villagers to get home for noon dinner. The children assembled first, of course. School was recently over for the summer, and the feeling of liberty sat uneasily on
Why
most
are the
of them.
children there first?
They tended to gather together quietly for a while before they broke into boisterous play, and their talk was still of the classroom and the teacher, of books and reprimands. Bobby Martin had already stuffed his pockets full of stones, and the other boys soon followed his example,
Why is he
selecting the smoothest and roundest stones. Bobby and Harry Jones and Dickie Delacroix, the villagers pronounced his name Delacroix, eventually made a great pile of stones in one corner of the square and guarded it against the raids of the other boys. The girls stood aside, talking among themselves, looking over their shoulders at rolled in the dust or clung to the hands of their older brothers or sisters.
All right, so I already have enough in terms of a close read and going back just to model an example for you. So I hope you heard me over the reading, but there were some things that stood out to me as being uncertain or vague in a sense, right? So the first one I pointed out was up here in the first paragraph, right? And I would say that it said they began to gather. What are they gathering for, right? I don't know that yet. So that's uncertain. And then as we progress, why is it so important if it takes less than 2 hours? Like, why is this such an important event? So I'm unclear of that. And then why are the children there first? Why are the children's the ones to gather first? That's uncertain to me. And then why the stones, right? So like, why are they collecting stones and piling them up? So I would say that I'm going to go with the children assembling first, just because that's standing out to me the most. So an example of ambiguity or vagueness or uncertainty that I encountered within the first page of the lottery was the children gathering first for the event. This was ambiguous or vague because we as readers do not know why the children are going first, when usually elders are respected more and given preference. I think the author left this portion in the text this way because I think it might be because it shows that what we may expect this gathering to be might not be our first thought. Right, so something might happen other than what we think it might be. And a possible inference that you can make due to this uncertainty is that the children play a key role in whatever the event is, and maybe it's all about the children, right? So that's my guess. Now, could I be wrong? Of course I could be, right? But I'm just making an educated guess here. I know from my previous experiences in life that usually elders are respected and given preference to come first, right? Gather first so they get the front seats. And here I am going, I wonder why the kids are there. And maybe it's because it's something that I don't expect the event to be, right? So maybe by kind of switching that tone, the author or what we expect to happen, the author saying, well, wait a minute, not everything is as it appears, right? So that's kind of where I'm left as a reader. So here's your model, and I hope this video helps. And let me know if you have any other questions before you guys jump into independent practice, which you'll have the opportunity. You can work in small groups today to do this, or you can work independently, completely up to you. But you want to be able to find more areas of uncertainty. So that's going to be 2. I apologize, I changed that. So 2 more instances of uncertainty within the lottery. And then I want you to try to make an educated guess. So why did the author leave it uncertain possibly? And then what's an educated guess that you can make that might fill in that hole? You don't have to be 100% right, but it does have to make logical sense. See you in the main chat.